I've seen way too many people rush out the door with a $200 robot vacuum, only to end up chasing it around the house when it can't handle pet hair, gets stuck on a kid's toy, or leaves the kitchen floor half wet. The regret comes fast, and the money comes right back. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. And that's the exact model I'm talking about, the NARWAL Flow 2 Robot Vacuum and Mop Combo. What makes the whole decision feel a little less like a gamble is how the Flow 2 tries to address the three biggest complaints I hear. Suction power that actually lifts stubborn debris, a mop system that doesn't just splash dirty water around, and navigation that isn't constantly tripping over the same coffee table leg. If you're the kind of homeowner who's tired of manually dragging a mop across a kitchen that gets a quick splash of sauce every night, or you have a dog that sheds enough to make a lint roller feel useless, this robot is pitched as this smarter alternative. On the flip side, if you live in a studio with minimal flooring and no pets, you might be better off with a simpler, cheaper unit. Let's break down the day-to-day experience. The first thing you notice when you pull the Flow 2 out of the box is the smart light bar on the front. It glows green when the robot is ready, amber when the mop water tank is low, and turns red if it encounters an obstacle it can't work around. That visual cue saves you from opening the app every time you wonder why it's paused in the hallway. I set it up on a typical weekday. The robot starts its cleaning cycle at 9 a.m., runs through the living room, the kitchen, and then the hallway. The dual cameras on the top give it a kind of eyes wide open awareness. It actually stops before a pile of kids' Lego bricks and backs up, then reroutes around a coffee table without the usual bump and stutter you hear from older models. Suction is where the Flow 2 tries to stand out. At 31,000 pascals, it's in the high-end range for consumer robots, and I could feel the difference on the carpet in my bedroom. The dual Tangle-Free brush system spins in opposite directions, pulling out dog hair that would otherwise wind up in the rollers of a cheaper unit. I ran a quick test by scattering a handful of cat hair on a low-pile rug. The robot cleared it in a single pass, leaving barely a trace. That kind of power does come with a trade-off. The motor draws more electricity, so the battery life is about 90 minutes on a full suction cycle, compared to the 120-minute runs you see on less aggressive models. In a larger house, that means you'll have to either schedule a mid-run docendrism or accept that the robot may not finish a full house clean in one go. The mop side is where the Flow 2's FlowWash claim gets interesting. Traditional robot mops usually have a small pad that you have to pre-wet, and the water quickly gets dirty, leaving streaks. The Flow 2 has a self-cleaning water tank that pumps fresh water through the mop pad every few minutes, and there's a built-in rinsing cycle after the cleaning session. In practice, this means the kitchen tiles come out noticeably cleaner after a breakfast spill. I did a side-by-side with a plain water-only mop robot, and the Flow 2 left half the coffee ring visible on the stainless steel countertop. The downside? The water tank holds only 250 milliliters, so on a large, heavily soiled floor you'll hear the robot pause to refill, which adds a few minutes to the total cleaning time. Now, who should actually buy the Flow 2? If you have pets that shed medium to heavy amounts, a mix of hardwood, tile, and low-pile carpet, and you're okay with the robot needing a modest amount of supervision when the battery dips low, this is a solid middle ground. The AI object recognition is genuinely helpful in a home with kids because the robot learns the shape of common obstacles and avoids them over time. Families that already own a robot vacuum but are fed up with the mop being a wet rag will appreciate the freshwater refill cycle. It also integrates with the standard voice assistants, so you can tell it to start cleaning while you're still in bed. Who should skip it? If you live in a small apartment where a single pass can cover the entire floor, you'll probably be paying a premium for suction you'll never fully use. The same goes for homes that are mostly carpeted. The mop function becomes moot, and you could invest in a dedicated carpet-only robot that often comes cheaper. Also, if you're looking for a set-and-forget solution that can run an entire house on one charge, the 90-minute run time might feel limiting. Finally, anyone who expects a completely silent operation should look elsewhere. The high suction and dual brush motors generate a noticeable hum, especially on tile. Let's talk about hidden trade-offs. The dual cameras give the Flow 2 a decent sense of